We think the past is locked, but in the quantum world, a choice you make now can rewrite history. This is the delayed choice quantum eraser. In the famous double slit experiment, a photon acts as a wave if unobserved, but if observed, it acts as a particle. Observation creates reality. But when does it decide? John Wheeler asked, what if we delay the choice until after the photon passes the slits? In 1999, scientists tested this. They erased the witch path information after the photon passed. Amazingly, the photon went back to being a wave. It seems the future influenced the past. Here is what happened. If the scientists decided to keep the information after it passed the slits, the photon behaved like a particle in the past. It went through one slit. If the scientists decided to erase the information after it passed the slits, the photon behaved like a wave in the past. It went through both slits. Let that sink in. The photon had already passed the slits. The event was over. It was history, but the decision to measure it happened later. Somehow, the photon knew what the scientists were going to do in the future. If it knew you were going to look, it went back in time and acted like a particle. If it knew you were going to destroy the data, it went back in time and acted like a wave. The future event determined the past event. This is called retro-causality. The effect happens before the cause. Imagine you flip a coin. It lands on heads. You see it. It is heads. Then, 5 minutes later, you decide to turn on a machine. And suddenly the history books change, and the coin actually landed on tails 5 minutes ago. That is what this experiment suggests. It implies that the past is not fixed. The past is a cloud of probability that stays undefined until a future measurement collapses it into a single story. History doesn't create us. We create history by looking at it. How can this be possible? There is one explanation that fits perfectly, and it is terrifying. The simulation theory. In a video game, the computer optimizes resources. It doesn't render the inside of a building until you walk through the door. It doesn't decide what is in a treasure chest until you open it. This is called lazy evaluation. The computer waits until the last possible second to calculate the outcome to save processing power. The quantum eraser looks exactly like lazy evaluation. The universe didn't bother to calculate which slit the photon went through until it absolutely had to, until the final measurement was made. It left the past undefined to save memory. If this is true, then our reality is a procedural engine. The past isn't real. It is just a backstory generated on the fly to justify the present moment. Think about the stars. We see light from a star that exploded 10 billion years ago. But according to the quantum eraser logic, that photon might have existed in a superposition, a wave, for 10 billion years. It didn't decide I am a red photon or I am a blue photon until it hit your eye tonight. Did you looking at the star tonight force the star to explode 10 billion years ago? Did your observation write the history of the cosmos? John Wheeler called this the participatory universe. He said we are not just observers, we are participants. We are building the universe's past by looking at it today.
This experiment forces us to question the nature of time. We think time flows one way, but in the quantum world, time is symmetric. Equations work forwards and backwards. Maybe the distinction between past and future is an illusion created by our brains. Maybe everything, the Big Bang, the dinosaurs, you watching this video, and the end of the world, is all happening at once in a massive, interconnected block of data. And choice is just the act of focusing the lens. We still don't fully understand it. Some scientists argue pilot wave theory explains it without time travel. Others say many worlds theory explains it, the universe splits. But no matter how you look at it, the quantum eraser proves that reality is not solid. It is soft, it is malleable, and you are more powerful than you think. Your conscious observation is the needle that knits the fabric of reality together. So be careful what you look at, because you might just be creating it. I am your host. The past is not real. Subscribe.